Okay. Woo! What was that? Why did it end that way? What the heck was that about? Why? Let's get into all these silly little questions that are being asked. Because if you watch the last episode, you and I are both like, I'm pretty sure 99% of the audience is like, that's not correct. That is not correct. I really don't understand why the people were crowned who they were crowned. Anyway, my name is Rusenica. Welcome to my casual YouTube channel. This is where I talk anything casual or monumental in relation to life and life's events and TV shows and pop culture or whatever the heck relates to that is what I'm going to be talking about. And today we're going to be talking about Perfect Match Season 2, the last episode. I said in my last video, these episodes are everybody's guilty pleasure, and the pleasure is guilty as sin, and the same is true for this one again. So let's get into all of my notes that I wrote about this. I woke up super early to do this. It is before I go to work, so I simply, if you catch me speeding through this, is because I like needed to get this up the day of. Anyway, I talk about everything that stands out to me in relation to these episodes. So if I miss something, it simply just didn't stand out to me and I didn't feel as though I needed to write it down. A lot of those notes are going to be about Nigel and Christine because it's like, why are we making the side characters the main characters? I really don't. Okay. So from the first, like a couple of minutes, I wrote down when Jess and Harry were having their discussion, and Jess was essentially reading Harry to Phil. And Harry's just like, and then I was shook at the fact that they did not match. Because honestly, as much as I know that Jess is like a very mature person, who just ended up with like a horrible guy, I really thought she was gonna fall for it still. And I really thought that she was gonna, I feel like I thought that she was gonna keep going because she really went for Melinda hard. So like I thought she was really gonna stand by her man, but she does have a little bit more high character, and she probably is coming to terms with the fact that like I don't want to be in this house with this guy who's like making my life 10 times worse. It's giving I love you, it's ruining my life. Shout out to the Swifties. Okay, like props to Jess for following her intuition. um uh, she really got what she needed with that one. Then we all see, I'm taking a look at my notes if you see me looking down. Let me try to make it more like eye level. We all see that the matches go to bed, and it's really weird that Izzy and Micah have to like share a bed. Whenever I saw them in bed together, I was like, that makes me so uncomfortable, knowing that even friendship matches or matches where you feel like, oh well, I mean, I might as well just match with them because I don't have a match. They have to sleep in the same bed. It just feels like if you don't have sexual tension, if you don't have that desire, then it's like, oh, I just got to be in bed with somebody. Yuck. Okay. At some point, Steven and Alara, or sorry, at this point, Steven and Alara are the only real match. Like, it's so crazy that they're even focusing on these other couples being like, oh, is it? Is it? Come on, please. Like, let's just be so for real. This whole entire time, it was kind of like, I don't know what even the point of this last episode is, because it would be so cool to see a season where everybody's compatible and everybody's with somebody that they like and they feel threatened to lose. But instead, we just get like Micah and Cass. They have attraction, but it's weird and toxic and off. And then people like Izzy, who just is constantly making friendship matches, and Harry and Jess, and that's like a horrible match. It's like they're in the running to be a match because they like each other, but they're a horrible. What's the opposite of perfect? It just is like the worst match. Whatever, it just like I wish Netflix would cast. I mean, but it wouldn't be good entertainment if you just had like healthy, good couples that made it all the way through that you're rooting for, right? I don't know. I would kind of just want to see that. So then we go into the compatibility game. Probably so much has happened before that I didn't make a note on, but there's so many incorrect, incompatible answers that are given. Some of the questions are, how many times, like the first question I think was, how many times does your partner want to have sex? I don't know if I can say in the first couple minutes of YouTube. I know you can say you can't say bad words, but it's like anything that YouTube finds as a bad word is like, I just want my video to do well, but you guys know what I'm saying. How many times a week do you want to do it? So who says, I forget what who says what, but I think the ranges are like 3 to 4, 5 to 7, multiple times a day. The amount of people that are putting multiple times a day, that's, is it wild? No, I just thought about myself. Because these are also young, horny people. So, yeah, it's not really that wild. Other questions are like, how long does it take for your partner to get ready for me? Whatever. Who cares about that? How long do you want to get married? Chris and Tolu are leading the game. Who would have thought about that one? Not me. Also, I just want to clarify. I think like I forgot about the fact that Chris completely tried to lie his way out of the whole Xanthi thing. And then I said like, "Oh, I'm ready for Chris and Tolu because they're a more attractive version of me and my husband." And they are. But I do have to think critically about the fact that like, oh, these men just be lying to these women to like get their way for like a second until this show comes out. And I hate that about Chris. And it's so sad because it really, like I said in the last video, I want to like these people because they're attractive. And I know. But no, I'm not rooting for Chris and Tolu. I feel like I'm rooting for the idea of them because it's a black woman, white man, where a white man desires the black woman so much to the point where it's like, I feel like it's real. And I don't see that on a lot of reality TV shows or real life that much. You see it on social media because, I don't know, you just do. Like the algorithm really picks them up and puts them in our face and shows us their tiny little mixed babies. But like on reality TV, I just feel like their demographic, their them as people are people who I really want to see, not just because they mimic me and my husband, but just because it's like that is, we do not see black women who are desired, and that's kind of what makes me like them more. I don't even really necessarily like Tolu that much because I think she's a little cringe. She's a little cringe in the way that she like, I don't know. I just feel like some of the, like how reality stars just like speak sometimes, and you're like, you're like, you try to make that a thing and it doesn't sound like real life. Like this is very much a show. I feel like Tolu's really putting on a show. I like her overall because I'm an African woman. I have no choice to stand. I have no choice other than to stand, and I like her style sometimes. But overall, I don't know. I feel like some of the I don't know. Basically, I like the idea of Chris and Tolu more than I like them as people. Elise can't focus in the game because she's like so distracted by Brighton's abs. Every I I hate I hate the idea that Elise is so into Brighton and is standing by him even though he's like he's like a disgusting, but is he not? What are we talking about, Elise? I can't get Brighton. She just seems way too intelligent to just like sit, but she also was attracted to as Dominique said, ego-driven men who would have toxic patterns. But yeah, and then of course Elise and Brighton know each other the least. They get to the bridge then after they do the compatibility thing, they do the bridge crossing thing. So weird. Chris and Tolu win. Crazy. They really fumble the bag with the boardroom because they get into the boardroom. Oh, and then before the boardroom, Chris says, there's no one else I'd rather be with. I'd rather go through this all with Tolu. That's a lie, Chris. Is it Christopher or Christian? Or Chrysanthemum? Because the whole reason why you guys had a conflict is because you wanted to see something with somebody else. If Xanthi had said yes, you might have been matched right now. So you're a liar. Everyone's a liar. It's crazy. Anyway. Also, a note I have to make about the game is that I do not believe that Kaz has had sex with 1 to 20 people. There's something about that that's incorrect to me. It doesn't feel like it hits my soul in a truthful way. Every time I see Brighton, I feel slightly ill. Yeah. But anyway, so the boardroom. Also, what the heck? I'm so missing so many notes. Steven and Alara talk about the possibility of dating outside of the house. And to me, it makes sense when they talk about it because they are the only real option. Like they clearly have compatibility. They clearly like each other a lot. Whatever. The boardroom. Tolu is she's looking like the most beautiful, most elegant Big Bird we have ever seen, and I am not clowning it at all. I think it's beautiful, but I'm sure most of us were thinking Big Bird energy. I'm sure. Now that I like have admitted that I don't really like her that much, it sounds like everything I'm saying is like to make fun of her, but I truly did like that dress. I think she wears it well. I don't think a lot of people would. Anyway, uh but yeah, she's like the most original person. I need to stop talking about this. Anyway, and then I made a note about how it was weird that Jessica is on in the running to be on the board. Jessica does not match with any of these people. Like once Harry has been on and they've been a match and they said I love you to each other, it was just kind of like seeing her on the board. It's like, why would you do that to her, you guys? She just got out of this relationship where she said I love you to somebody and you're putting her back on the board. Oh my god, so inhumane. Nearly inhumane. Like you're really jerking her and her daughter around. It's ridiculous. But then we get Jessica and Izzy, which is so uncomfortable. Like that is very much so. Izzy is not near anything that Jessica would want. It's ridiculous. And then they do the only correct match, which is Nigel and Christine. It's so hard to care about Nigel and Christine because they're side characters. It's so hard. Jessica does a polite thing whenever they do go on them date, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, you know." She like plays up the energy, which I feel like everybody's playing up the energy, even when they're not happy with the person they're on the date with, because you got to, I guess, when you're on TV. But it's like that. It's just so clearly not a match. Why would like that's why the heck would Tolu and Chris, and I can't just blame Tolu, put them together? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like even Tolu matched with Izzy and was like, that's a friend thing. So why do you think Jessica would say the opposite? It's weird. Whatever. So then I said it's Christine and Nigel match. It's hard to be invested in Christine and Nigel just because it's like they're side characters. They're beautiful people. They're beautiful people. Something about Nigel to me, I don't know what it is about him, but he just there's something a little off about him. Like he to me was like the man. If I had like envisioned like a type of man that I would want to end up with in like when I was in high school, um, it would be somebody like Nigel. But there's something a little bit like weird about him in the way that like the packaging that he comes in just feels a little bit too perfect. Like I don't know. um So speaking of Micah and Cass, because Nigel and Christine are talking about the Cass thing because Christine and Cass are a match right now, which is weird. I'm not pro Micah or anti Cass, and I'm not pro Cass, anti Micah, but I'm more anti Micah than I am pro Cass. I think I talked a lot about positives in relation to Cass in last video, because I just like him a little bit better in the situation, because I feel like Micah really plays herself up to be a huge victim. When, yes, she has been in positions that Cass has put her in that are unfair to her. Like, they are unfair, just in my opinion. But I just automatically just don't like Micah that much, so I find it a little bit hard to feel bad for her when these decisions are made, especially because the show that they're on, like like Michael wants Kaz to be a puppy dog, but at the same time, all Kaz is doing is telling the women like, no, it's all about you. I can't do it. Okay. He's essentially just being like, it's all about you until it's not. And then when you blame me for being about somebody else, I'm just going to be like, we were an idiot. Yeah. But then it's like, you're not being fully transparent. That's Kaz's issue, is that he's not being transparent. He's kind of manipulating his words a bit, so they go a little bit more in his favor. But at the same time, when that happens, Micah just makes it 10 times more of a bigger deal. She doesn't talk about it that constructively. They're both in the wrong. I don't like them, either of them, really. I just think Kaz is so fine. He's so fine. To me, when a package comes in that fine of a packing, when a package comes out that fine, it's like, I don't know. This is bad. I don't expect a person to be that high character of a person. I don't. You don't. This is Netflix. I don't expect you guys to be hiring people with like incredible merit that also look beautiful. I I don't. So then Kaz and Micah have a conversation, and I'm just like, just break it off. Really, like, it's too much. Micah, you're at this point, if you're like, he just keeps me like, yeah, and he's so yeah, and he just, then don't entertain it anymore. But then they get together. um okay, so we have Jess and Izzy matching. Luckily, they unmatch in the future. Sorry if I spoiled that like a couple minutes too early. But truly, like, I just feel like she should have done the thing to be like, but I mean, I don't know. And then I just asked, are Chris and Tolu running to be the perfect match? Because I feel like that they were playing that up. Like, they're winning these challenges. They seem to be into each other, but I don't know. It's like, for a minute, I was like, are they a viable couple? Because to me, Devin and Alara were the only ones, but I don't know. So then Jess does the thing and leaves the house. Well, yeah. And it's just like, I can't be here anymore. Yeah. But good on her. Chris and Tolu. Oh, I made a comment about how I like them more as a concept than a couple. Yeah, I already went on that tangent. Everyone in their final dates, they have some nice final dates. I will say that. I was really envious of the little dates they get to go on, because it's like, oh my God. When Netflix foots the bill, when reality TV shows foot the bill for a date you're going on, you're having an experience. It doesn't even matter if you don't like the person. You're doing something that you enjoy. Except for the beer spa. Lord. The idea of sitting in beer. I don't know. Okay, anyway. I didn't like that. But everybody keeps lying to each other, being like, no, I totally see the thing with you outside. I do. It's like, no, I totally do. I totally see a thing with you outside. Just don't. The only people I believe are Stefan and Alara. Because that's the only believable couple. So then we have the 5 final couples in so many singles. It's so weird to see the singles just sitting. Can you imagine being a single just sitting there? Can you imagine being a single that only gets to go into the house like a couple times, like being a Trevor, to where you like take time out of your life to come on the show, and you end up not being chosen. You have to sit in whatever hotel they have you in, and just to be brought back to decide who the perfect match is, and you don't even know these people. How embarrassing. My God. Hopefully he got paid something. I mean, they got paid something. They get a stipend for like housing and like the costs that it'll cost you to be out of your life, I've heard. But that's like barely, it's not barely enough, but it's like, it's not worth the embarrassment that you face, I'm assuming. Okay, so Tolu is such a queen when she looks into this, when she has this little thing. She looks so good. I love it. Oh my God. Um, so when they're asking like, Tolu, so do you believe that you're the perfect match? Dominique's like, I'm gonna stop you right there. No, your man is weird. Just gonna be honest, you deserve better. Mic drop. And then she's kind of there like, ooh, we're friends. So yep. It's just a little uncomfy, but I love the calling out. They go to Elise and Brighton. Why are we wasting our time? Every time I see Brighton, you get it. I am disgusted by him. Dominique says, listen, girl, this man is not it. Like, we literally argued about everything, and even yoga. And you like to be with men who are high ego people. And I think, Brighton, that you like her because she doesn't challenge your ego the way that I would. Period. You never lie, Dominique. You don't. Yeah, why the heck is Elise drawn to all these men? I feel like let's look into her family history. See what's sorry. See what's going on. Um like, okay, so then we come down to the Christine and Nigel. Who cares? I literally wrote down, who cares about Christine and Nigel? And then Kaz got to do this little measuring contest and being like, yeah, whatever, you said you wanted to be with an alpha and you went the complete opposite. Kaz, you did not have to come at anybody. You could just sit there like you with this girl that you want to be. What are we doing? Christine has a scammer. Yikes. Yeah, just weird and awkward. Kaz and Micah basically pull the, we're not perfect. We're not perfect. We have a strong bond that is solidified by toxicity, but we still want to see each other at the end of the day. If you are convincing yourself like at the end of the day we just go through well, no matter the arguments, the fights, the fact I hate this man to my core, I want to be with him every single day. That's not the relationship for you. Like, if you see yourself in Kaz and Micah, see yourself out is what needs to happen. Then, oh God, the moment we've been waiting for. We get the footage. Thank you, Netflix. I don't know if it was a fumble for them to do it now or they should have done it earlier, because it's like they know how to extend, they know how to like keep our attention, and they knew that this was going to be a bombshell. Like, it's good to drop a bombshell, but it's also kind of like, but now a bunch of people probably didn't know that like this is real because they probably aren't going to watch the last episode. Whatever. We get the footage. Harry did say, I want to put a baby in you. Or like, I want to see you pregnant or something. They have multiple different conversations. One of them is about her being pregnant. They like get all flirty. They go off to the bathroom. And there's no cameras. And Melinda's like, you can kiss me. Nobody's going to see. There's no cameras. Weird. And then I guess you can hear them kissing, smacking lips. And then we see Harry say, oh yeah, I want you. No, I mean, I knew it was real. We knew it was real. It just is so jarring to even see the fact that Netflix had it, and that they had it the whole time. Are we kidding? They had it the whole time. Justice for Melinda, seriously, because the amount of like women that are rallying behind Harry probably and sending Melinda death threats. That's why I'm also like, Netflix, you could have just dropped the footage earlier. I don't know. The way that social media plays into this game is life changing, probably. Like, the amount of people that are Harry stans that simply were like, yeah, she's just lying for clout, like, will be revealed. And maybe it's good that way. I don't know. But no, yeah, Harry, your fall from, no, it's not even a fall from grace, because he simply is this guy. Like, we love to see him mess up. It's crazy him coming to terms with that, because it had to. If there had been no footage, if this episode and the footage of this episode didn't exist, I think he would still be on the train of nothing. You wouldn't see anything and nothing happened. If the Netflix producers came to him, they're like, we don't have anything on you, like the mic somehow went out, he would have stuck by that. He's not a high character guy. He's just a tall man with pretty eyes and a little bit of humor that some people like and some people are disgusted by. Okay? He's just a man. Everybody votes for their perfect match, and everybody chooses Christine and Nigel. What are we doing? What are we doing? What the heck is that about? They fumbled the bag the first season. It should have been, even though I hated them, Carousel and Joey, or Joe, whatever the heck. And now, and they fully got engaged. And now it's Christine and Nigel when it should have been Alara and Steven. Damn! Beautiful people can't think. Beautiful people do not use their brain often because they don't have to. Whatever. Okay. So then we get that roll at the end credits. We see that Harry and Jessica were going strong, going about as strong as a broken arm. And then they broke up a week later, which is crazy because Harry full on posted, like them on like a beach or something. Be like, life post perfect match. Okay. I mean, sure, maybe a week post, but. And I am just left with the feeling of feeling like this is stupid. I feel like this was stupid. I feel disappointed. Although, you know what? I am entertained. And that, at the end of the day, is all you really could ask for. That's really all you could ask for, is just simply, Netflix, please entertain me. I don't care if it's right or wrong. Show me a good time. And you show me sometimes, some were good, some were toxic, some were just straight up horrendous. But I had a good time. Let me know how you feel. I hate that I forgot this. Please check out all of my links in the bio. I put effort into everything I do on this channel. So let me know if you liked it in any way, shape, or form. If you smiled, giggled, hated me, cried, whatever at any point in this video, please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. It helps out my channel so much. Anyway, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time of day it is, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night.